Stampers, Deb Valder here, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm going to show you how to do these envelope punch board boxes. You can make them in all sizes. Here I have one that has a lip balm in it, and I just put some of my Stampin' Up! Lip balm in there. And this one right here I have filled with Easter eggs. You can see all the little Easter eggs that are in here. And this one is so small that I have just a little Hershey kiss in there, one little kiss. And you can decorate them as elaborately as you want. You can decorate them as little as you want, but they're just a lot of fun. What they have is a little top, and on the inside is all of your goodies. And let's get started. I'll show you how to do it. I'm going to show you how to do the bigger one just because it's a little bit easier. But like I said, here's one that would fit a Tootsie Roll. I have lip balm in it. This one is small enough for mini M&Ms. You can use just about anything in there. And like I said, you can make them any size. So this size right here, what I started with was a 6.5 by 8.5 inch piece of paper. And a good way to do this, and I would start with one that's a little bit bigger because you can just see what you're doing a little bit easier. This is just a basic 2, 4, 6, 8 box, and what I mean by that is it's scored at 2, 4, 6, 8, and you've got this little 1/2 inch left over when you use an 8.5 by when you use an 8.5 piece of paper, and that is for your little tab, so that when you put it all together, it gets glued together right on that little tab. So that works out really good. So this is just a 2, 4, 6, 8 box, and then my scores here are at 1, 1.5, 2, and then this one is 4. So these gave me 2-inch squares. Now when you're doing this, you have to have this part right here has to be a 1/2 inch in between these three. So there has to be a score, 1/2 inch score. You can do that anywhere. This one is a little bit bigger. This one is bigger than this one. You can just see. So the top can be any size that you want. You just have to make sure that your scores are score, 1/2 inch score. And that's because this from the envelope punch board has to fit within that. Otherwise it won't compact in the middle like we have here. So we've got this all scored. It's scored at, like I told you, 2, 4, 6, 8, and then I have right here, this is at 1, 1.5, 2, and then 4. All right, so the next thing that I did was I took and after it was all scored, I ran it through my Big Shot because I need my window. And on this one, I had to use one of my framelits, but on this little guy, it was small enough that I could just use my punch. So since this was a 1-inch a 1-inch square, I used the 3/4 inch punch. And then after you punch that out, you're going to take and you're just going to pop that out like that. And then what I did was I added my window sheet right here. So I just put a mini glue dot right here, and right here, and then I stuck that on there. So that is the way that was done. Now we're up to this little piece right here. So I've got my window in, and then I've got all of my scores. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these little punches. So what I did after I scored, all right, you want to score this way. All right, you want to fold, you want to fold this way and just keep folding over. All right, so it's just rounding it. You're just going to round, and this is actually making our box. It'll make a little bit more sense once we get it all folded, and that's your 2, 4, 6, 8 box. All right, with your circle in the middle. I also wanted to just kind of point out that you really want your circle either on this square or this square, so that when you fold in your back side, okay, your seam is here and your window is going to be here. So that way there you don't see the seam. So if it was on this side, that would be good, because then your seam would be in the back. Okay, so that was just another little tip for you. And now with the 2/4 or with the 1 inch or the 1/2 inch folds right here, what we're going to do is this fold right here, we're going to take and we're going to do a mountain fold, meaning we're going to fold it away from the right side of the paper. Then the next one we're going to fold in toward the right side of the paper, and then the last one we're going to fold toward the outside of the paper. Now what I'm going to have you do is use your bone folder that comes with your scoring, with your envelope punch board, and just take and bone fold all of these. And then we have one more, this one that's in the middle, we're going to take and we're going to fold it away from the right side of the paper. So this is what your scores should look like. Now it's time to use our envelope punch board. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your envelope punch board, and where we have this little gully, this little indentation right here, that's where we're going to punch. And on this one, it just happens to be at 4.5 because it's from here to here, okay? So now what I'm doing is I'm just going to take it, I'm going to punch that. But what I need to do is I need to fold it over first. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to line it up with that little 1/2 inch mark right there. On this particular one, it's 4.5. It depends on what size you're making. That's at 4.5. But if you don't have, if it runs off the side of your paper because you've got a real long one, you can just line this little score mark up inside the cave opening right in the middle. And then you're going to punch. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take and you're going to lift it out. You're going to fold this next fold over, and you're going to punch here. And then you're going to lift it out, fold it over, and then punch. You're going to do it here. And then your last one is actually just going to be done on the very last, on the very edge, and that's so that you have a little divot for your last fold. And this one is not folded over at all. It's just, the last one is just done on a single sheet right here. And I'll just show you what I mean by that. After I got it all punched, just like this, you'll see this one was folded there and I punched, then this one was folded there and I punched, and then I punched, and then this last one has to be a single punch, and that's so that when you bring them together, and you glue them just like this, you're going to take and you're going to have that little divot in this last piece, which is what you need. Okay, so that is all you need with the envelope punch board. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to adhere it together. So you're going to take your adhesive and you're going to put your adhesive, well, no, first of all what we're going to do, excuse me, is we need to take and just cut our bottom. This is the bottom of the box right here. So what I did was, where I have that little tiny piece, that little 1/2 inch mark, I'm going to take and I'm going to cut that piece right out. And then these last 3 are just going to be cut. These are just cut right up to that first score line. Now remember, it's already folded this way. So now you're going to have just your cuts going like this. Now it's time to put your adhesive on. So you're just going to take your snail. I do like to use sticky strip, but just while I'm making my video, I'm just going to use my snail adhesive just to show you. But probably sticky strip would be the best for this. And like I said, I use mini glue dots for the window. Now what I want you to do, instead of trying to put this together like this and trying to get it even, if you just lay it down like this, and then you just fold over like that, make sure everything is lined up, and then just seal it. Okay? Now we have the startings of our box. What I do next, now remember to look for the front. This will be the last flap to go over. So I'm going to do my 2 sides first. I'm just going to pop one in there, and then you can use mini glue dots, you can use sticky strip, something very strong, because you're going to have contents in this box, and you want to make sure that nothing falls out, or the bottom doesn't fall out of the box. Get it? Bottom doesn't fall out of the box. Okay, so now I have the sides are glued in. Now I want my front to be this is going to be your last piece going over. So I'm going to take and I'm going to put my snail adhesive or my mini glue dots or my sticky strip on that one. I'm going to fold the back one in, and I'm going to fold the front one over. Now, you see how that's nice and smooth? And on the back is where our seam is. For the front of the box. So the back, everything is in the back, okay? And it just looks more finished. So we're almost done. At this point, you can fill your box. You can also put your tie around. But what we need to do now is to make the top for it, because these are very big and the stuff would fall out. So we're going to make our box. Now, I have a very important tip for you. When you're making your box top, you want to measure the top. So this one is 2 by 2. And then you need to measure your sides. So depending on what your sides are going to be, is what your measurements are going to be. And my measurements are, this is just a 1 inch. So my top is 2, 3, and 4. So I need a 4 by 4 inch square. So I cut it out of my paper, but I didn't cut it at 4 by 4. I cut it at 4 1/16 by 4 1/16. Why did I do that? Well, because if I did it 4 by 4, when I went to put it on, this and the top would be the exact same size, and it wouldn't be able to go over it. It would fit too perfectly. It would just lay on top. So what I did was, by making it just 1/16 inch wider, it is enough that your top is going to fit very nice and snug. You see, you can see it right down here. It fits nice and snug. It's not too big. It's not too small. It is just perfect. So you're going to cut, for this box, the 2 by 2 box, you're going to cut this 4 1/16 by 4 1/16. Then we're just going to take and we're going to score it all the way around at the 1-inch mark, which gives the inside piece the 1/16 inch bigger piece. So that way there, when you put it on there, it's going to just roll right over nicely. So now what I want you to do is I just want you to fold all of your, and use your bone folders for this. I want you to just fold in all of your pieces, just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to cut these in and in, turn it 180 degrees, and you're going to cut it in and in. All right, so now our cuts are on the sides, and that's just a basic cut. And what I like to do is I like to trim them off at an angle, and I'll show you why in just a minute. So let's just finish this side right here. And when you go to put your adhesives on these, what you're going to do is you're going to take, I'm just going to finish one side for you. When you put your adhesive on, you're going to take and you're going to put it close to this little fold right here. And the reason you do that is because when you fold it up, you want this to be very tightly snugged, and you want this part right here to be very snug, not snug. You want this to be glued very good, because this is where your end is. If you only glued out here on the point, it would end up going just like this, and it would open up on the side. So again, I'm going to say use either your mini glue dots or your sticky strip, but for this video I'm just going to take and I'm going to use my snail adhesive, and just to show you how nicely it goes together. So when you go to put it here, just kind of line up your tops, because that's the part that you want to look very nice. You're going to take and you can even force them to go nice, just like that. Okay, and that's going to do that. And then on this side, you're going to do the same thing. You can leave these square, but sometimes it doesn't look good. It looks like the ends hang off. So if you just do them at an angle, and when you do them at an angle, you want to go from not the cut side, but you want to go from the side that's just scored and bring that into the cut side, like that. Okay, so on this one I would go from the scored side to the cut side. And when you're all done, this little top fits perfectly on the top of our box, just like that. And it's fast, it's fun. I made a tag for this one, and this one was just done with our Scallop tag topper punch. I just made a mini one, and I just used a couple of stamp sets. I used a couple of stamp sets to finish that off. So let me just show you the finished boxes again. This one right here is the one I did with the lipstick in it, but it will fit Tootsie Rolls. You know me and Tootsie Rolls. It's one of my favorite things. That stamp set right here is done with the Making a Point. It's a Hostess set in the mini catalog. It's going to be gone pretty soon. It's absolutely adorable. So put in a $150 order with me and you get that one for free. I also use the Petite Petals bundle. That's also in the mini catalog, so you want to get that before it's gone. It's just an adorable little piece right here. This one right here, I didn't put anything on it, but you could add designer series paper. You could put some little stamps, little round stamps. We have that cute little scallop tag punch that would fit on top. Just adorable. So here's this one. And then this one, all I did was I added a little bit of designer series paper, and I used for this little banner right here, I used Language of Love. And this one is also in the mini catalog. So I hope you enjoyed my post. I hope you make lots of these for Easter. It's coming up. And have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions. Take care.